All right, good evening, folks. How is everybody? Sorry for the slight delay in getting everyone in. We've had technical issues in the last 24 hours, but we are live and ready to roll. Welcome to Dew Point. My name is Rob. I'm one of the executives here at Dew Point. Before we get started, I'm going to ask everybody to check their cell phones, make sure they're on silent or off, and make sure you check your second phone and your third phone. I know we've got some hustlers in the audience who are running around with multiple phones. And welcome to everyone who's tuned in around the country on our live stream. And then I'm going to ask you to put your phones away. You don't need to record. I know some people like to record what's going on here, but we will have everything on YouTube. It'll be up and available immediately after the presentation. So I'm going to ask you not to try record any of the aspects of the presentation while we're going. And then I also want to impress upon our guests, we've got a great format this evening. It's called Tattle Tuesday. And you're going to hear the testimonies, the stories of some of the wealth engineers that have had success here at Dew Point. And so I really want you guys to be focused this evening. This is not a hobby that we're trying to get people involved in. This is really potentially an event that will change your life. And so I want you to be focused. I want you to concentrate on everything that we're going to be doing. It's only going to be about 60 minutes, and I hope you're going to be entertained in the 60 minutes too, because it's quite fun listening to everybody's stories. And then for our wealth engineers this evening, as you can see, we've got a reminder on every intro slide to our presentations, a reminder that there's only 72 days of spring left, and we want everybody, all our wealth engineers, to be goal-driven in this business. It is one of the fundamental steps to being successful or effective in any aspect of life. And so it's a reminder that in the next 72 days, an aspiration that we have for you is to see you double your business. If you are still one of those wealth engineers that haven't grown your business at all, let it serve as inspiration or motivation for you to get started. The people that you're going to hear from this evening are people that were in exactly the same position as the rest of you, at zero. Everyone starts at zero. And so spring is a season of growth. We've got good weather, so there should be no excuse as to not feeling invigorated around the season of growth by going out and building this business that will potentially change your life. All right, so let's begin. Tattle Tuesday, as I said, this is a format that we run once a month. It is an exciting prospect where we get to invite some wealth engineers up onto the stage this evening to share their stories with you. And these might be so that you can relate to certain circumstances that they share with us. And it also might answer some questions that you might have. It might answer some questions in terms of obstacles that you have in terms of doing the business. So I hope that this presentation serves our guests this evening as well as the wealth engineers. So let's begin. Dew Point is a division of another company called Constantia Insurance Company Limited. Constantia is a registered insurance company. They were founded in 1952. They've been around for a very long time, 70 years. That's their building in the background. They're based just down the road from us here in Randburg. That's their little orange logo. You might recognize that logo, you might not. Probably not, because they actually don't deal with consumers like you and I. They typically only deal with other financial institutions. But for the first time, through Dew Point, through this division, are they now speaking to the public, speaking to you and I as consumers. The FSP number that we operate under is that one that you see over there. You'll notice here at our head office, above the water cooler in our foyer, we've got all these certificates up on the wall. Those are our FSP licenses by regulation. We have to have those on display. We've got a long and short-term insurance license. We've got our FSP license, and we've got an investment license. Many, many licenses. We've got our accreditation with the direct and the direct marketing associations. We take credibility very seriously here at Dew Point. We want you to trust the business that we're going to be proposing this evening. That is obviously a fundamental step towards any partnership, is that you trust the business that you're going to be dealing with, right? The executives and the senior management team are these very good-looking characters that you see up on the screen. It goes from good-looking to very good-looking. Do you see that? Medium in height to very tall. Can you see what the photographer did? All right, so this is the executive and management team here. Brendan, who you saw this evening, he's here this evening, he's outside. He is our senior executive. We are very fortunate to have him leading this division because he has got so much experience in financial services, particularly in insurance. He unfortunately has been involved in insurance his entire life. He got an insurance policy as birthday presents when he was growing up. His father is a professor of insurance who's been involved in insurance for 50 years. He taught as a professor at Wits for 25 years. So him and his brother are very learned in this insurance and financial industry. They followed in their father's footsteps. They joined the insurance industry. They actually together founded a business down the road called Prime Meridian Direct, PMD. And you might know PMD because they do a lot of advertising on a daily basis. And so PMD already, after just over 10 years, already the fourth biggest short-term insurance company in the country. And so we're very fortunate to have Brendan as our senior executive. Tim Reynolds, he's on leave at the moment, luckily for him. But he's got a lot of experience in corporate banking. He was with the First Rand Group for about 15 years before he joined our team. He heads up all the accounting and the financial, the auditing, and the regulatory aspects in our business, all the boring stuff. And Stacey supports him in that role. Stacey's got a lot of experience in auditing. She's been with Deloitte all her working career, locally as well as overseas, before she joined the team here. And then the two very good-looking and the tallest people in the photo, Jane and myself. Jane's got a lot of experience in direct marketing, and she brings this experience from the UK. So she brings this international experience to our business, because even though we're an insurance company, our growth is predicated through this marketing model called network marketing or referral marketing. And Jane brings that experience to our business. And then myself, I've been working in marketing and advertising all my career, most of my career, probably 99% of it. I did try to do a stint of engineering at Wits, but it was way too much work. Got back into the cushy life of advertising. But I started a digital agency in the mid-90s when the internet was booming, when things were new. Modems made a noise on your table. That's when I got involved in that business. And we ran that business fairly successfully, my business partner and I, for almost 20 years. The business is still running. I exited that company, and I'll touch on why I left that business. But as staff of DewPoint, our mandate is to support the people that join us in this partnership. So know again that the business we're going to be speaking about this evening, the people that work here, are here to support and to collaborate with you towards your effectiveness and success in this business. We are in it with you, and we want to see you successful in this business. Again, this is a big tick. If you're checking off tick marks in considering businesses, that you find the business credible, you find the people involved credible, and you know that we're going to work with you. Okay, so that's a little bit of background on DewPoint and the team here. We often ask the question, why are people interested in entrepreneurial opportunity? You do know that this is going to take work, right? It doesn't happen automatically. And so why would people want to look at doing extra work? The person that invited you here, they probably alluded to a financial opportunity, right? What did they say to you? Do you want to make more money? Were they as blunt as that? Or did they trick you into coming for free tea and coffee? And then tell you, oh, there's a business presentation too. Right? But whatever they promised you, you find yourselves here. And the driving factors towards people looking at entrepreneurial opportunities, looking for something extra, are often negative, unfortunately. So the negative driving factors are things like the economy. We see the economy playing out directly in our lives in the form of retrenchment, unemployment to the extent of 9.3 million people unemployed. We see it in the rate of inflation, which is sitting at 7%. Food inflation sitting at 11%. It means food's doubling in price every 7 to 8 years currently. You're more likely to get retrenched rather than promoted in this current economy. And worse off is that the economy at the moment is actually in a recession. When we so desperately need growth in our economy, it's actually shrinking at the moment. And these are the facts that we're faced with. And South Africans are forced into a position where they realize that what they're earning is not what the cost of living is anymore. So I can ask the audience this evening, how many of us got a 7% increase for the last 7 years in a row from the employers? No one ever puts their hand up to that question. I'll ask some other questions and you'll get one person putting their hand up. But when I ask that question, never does anyone put their hand up. And the fact of the matter is that our salaries are moving away from what the cost of living is, and there's the gap that starts to form. And we try to cover this gap with a 4-letter word that you see up on the screen. See the 4-letter word? Look at it now, it's looking back at you, it's batting its eyelashes at you, blowing kisses at you, because you have a love-hate relationship with that 4-letter word, right? And we often get criticized as a country. I'm sure other countries too, but we often get criticized as a society that engages in far too much debt. And debt comes in all types of formats, and you'll be aware of a lot of them. We look at home loans, car loans. You can buy almost anything on hire purchase. There's microloans, which are crazy things to engage with. We've got personal loans, educational loans. You can have clothing accounts. I think you can even have a food account, right? Can you have an account with some of the people that sell food? Can you pay for food this year that you ate last year? Is that possible? Right? And so we engage in all these different types of debt, and we're criticized for it. But it's often because of the fact that our salaries are devaluing against what the cost of living is. And so often we're forced into this position. But unfortunately, debt, what it does to us is it actually cripples our personal finance in terms of future value. Because we have this day bearing down on all of us called retirement. Right? Is everyone going to be retired, yes, sooner or later? Anyone not planning to retire? Well, you never know. You might get to retirement and go, oh, I can't retire. I don't have the luxury to retire, right? But we have this day looming down on all of us. It is inevitable for most of us in employment. So this was some data that was that we took out of an article that was published on the Fin24 website late last year. And it paints a picture of what responsible retirement planning looks like, especially in the case where the mortality rate is increasing in South Africa. So the mortality rate increasing means that people are living longer every day. Currently, we've got 4,000 people in South Africa that are over the age of 100. Right? The current mortality rate is sitting at 74. So the average woman dies at the age of 74 today. But everyone in this room looks like they're alive and kicking, and you will live longer on average than 74, right? Because of medical advances, health services improving, and all of that. And most of us in the room will probably live close to about 90. Kids being born today will live past 100. And so if you're living longer, your retirement planning needs to adjust accordingly, right? Because in the old days, if you went to a financial advisor, they say, oh, you probably die at 75, so you only have to have enough investment from 60 to 75, 15 years, you'll be fine. But now if you go see a financial advisor, say, you're probably going to die at 90, so now you need to have 30 years worth of investment in place, right? So this is what the article is based on. We've got 3 columns over here. Each column is headed by a figure. This figure is what you would derive as an income on a monthly basis if you had an investment in place. So if you were very good and you put away money into a retirement annuity or pension fund or some form of investment, and you got to the point where you got to retirement at the age of 60 and you had R1 million sitting in your investment, that R1 million would pay you out about 5,000 Rand a month for the next 30 years, right? So you can live comfortably on that 5,000 Rand and then really enjoy your retirement. All right, so now I'm going to ask you some more questions. I'm going to ask the audience some more questions. I'm going to ask you 2 questions. And I'm going to give you a little hint before I ask you the 2 questions. You can only say no to one of the questions. Right? Agreed? You can only say no to one of them. So my first question is, who can live comfortably on 5,000 Rand a month? No one saying yes? You all say no? You've set yourselves up now. You're in a corner now. Because you don't know what my second question is, but you know that you're not allowed to say no to it. Do you know what my second question is? Who is currently saving towards R1 million at the moment for their retirement? Do you see the problem that society faces? 98% of our population will get to retirement financially dependent. Dependent on family, on kids, just to survive and get through the month. We will be forced into a position where we have to make a decision regarding our lifestyle. When you get to retirement, and let's say you do have the R1 million invested, and that R1 million is paying you out 5,000 Rand a month, you can't even survive on 5,000 Rand a month. I read an article about nutrition in South Africa, right, saying that almost a third, this is a crazy number, almost a third of our kids are malnourished growing up in South Africa, which is frightening. You wouldn't expect that, right? And the person that wrote the article, some professor, she said that the average family of 4 to be nourished properly, needs to spend about 7,000 Rand a month on food. Now tell me, how are you going to survive on 5,000 Rand a month for all your cost of living? The purpose of our presentation this evening is to make you aware of an opportunity that will move you from the 98% to the 2%. From being financially dependent when you get to retirement to having the luxury of being financially independent. Right? And this is why I want you to take this presentation very seriously. I really want you to focus on what we're going to be discussing this evening. You look at the second column here. If you have 5 million Rand invested, it'll pay you out 26,000 Rand a month. That sounds a lot better, right? More dignified retirement. If you're under the age of 25, you can start working towards this a lot easier than any of us that are older than 25. I know I look 24, but I'm actually a little older than that. Right? So if you have years on your side, if you've got time on your side, you can put 4,000 Rand a month away for the next 40 years. You'll be in the position where you've saved 5 million Rand, which will pay you out 26,000 Rand from the age of 60 to 90, and you can probably enjoy your retirement. But that's a dream, right? We're still trying to get you past that point. This is just a dream. So these are the driving factors that we discuss. Like I said, mostly negative. We talk about the economy, we talk about debt, and we talk about retirement. And this is why you're here this evening, is that you want to potentially change your circumstance. Because out of all of this negativity, we as a business, as an enterprise, saw the opportunity to create a platform, a system for the average South African to engage in that will change the circumstances for themselves. We called it the Dew Point System. It was launched last year in February. And we have 3 aspirations for our wealth engineers. Our first aspiration is to see people in this business succeeding and wanting to become debt-free. That's our first goal for you, our aspiration. You can do it or you don't have to do it. But it's a wonderful aspiration to have, is to become debt-free. And it's probably not something you've ever thought of, right? Only in the last couple of years have I actually thought to myself, I should actually go for that. I should really try to become debt-free as quickly as possible. We seem to look at debt like this normal way of life. A bond, 20 years, take 20 years to pay it off. A new car, takes 6, 7 years to pay it off. But why not pay it off faster? If we know that it's crippling our finance from a personal point of view, why not pay it off faster? So imagine being debt-free. Can you imagine being debt-free? You probably haven't thought of it, so you can't imagine what it feels like. But I'm going to help you a little bit. Right? So at the end of the month, what are we on today? The 17th or something, right? 19th. Okay, so in about a week's time, you're going to get your salary from your employer. I know some people get paid in the middle of the month, but picture that day that you get paid, right? The bank knows that day very well. And the people that run debit orders on your account, they know that day very well too. So at the end of the month, you get that one SMS. Your phone makes that beautiful little noise, and you think, someone's talking to me, let me look. And you say, the bank tells me I've got my income deposited into my bank account, I'm rich. For about 3 minutes. Because what happens 3 minutes later? You get another SMS, and then another SMS, and another SMS. You think there's a family emergency, but no. It's your debit orders that are going off. How many debit orders? How many SMSs? Do you see now the bank even sends you one SMS with 5 debit orders in because they were sending you too many SMSs before? Now picture being debt-free. You get one SMS from your employer saying your income's being put into your bank account. You get a second SMS from Dew Point. And by the way, we paid all our wealth engineers yesterday, so they would have got that SMS from the bank saying your return has been put into your bank account. And that's it. Silence. You don't have any debit orders. Your house is paid off. Your car's paid off. You pay your kids' education a year up front. You don't have credit cards that you have to pay off. That's the position we want to find wealth engineers in this business in. Our second aspiration happens once you become debt-free, or at least you have the luxury of engaging in the second aspiration. And that is for wealth engineers to start building true wealth through looking at investments and building assets. That's the only way to wealth. Your salary, all your salary does is pay debt and pay off the cost of living. That's it. If you want wealth, you need to start thinking about assets, investments, the future value of money. And when those two things happen, if you can achieve those two things, the third aspiration happens on its own, and that's happiness. right? And that's why we're here this evening. We want to be happier. We don't want to be stressed at the end of the month. You don't want to be stressed in December when you realize how expensive it is to travel. Christmas, school uniforms. I look at my kids' feet. I'm like, stop growing. Your feet are growing too much. I've got to buy school shoes too often, right? I don't want to have to stress about that stuff anymore. And I don't want that for you either. I want to take the stress away. So those are our 3 aspirations. Our guests here this evening, you have the opportunity of engaging with the DewPoint system. You contract with DewPoint. We call you wealth engineers when you contract with us. And as wealth engineers, we want you to do only one thing. That is to go out and build what we call channels of distribution. And we will talk about channels of distribution till the cows come home. Right? And I'll show you what one of these channels of distribution look like, so you know what I'm talking about. Through these channels of distribution, which is really you introducing people to DewPoint, we will attempt, DewPoint, Constantia will attempt to place product with the people that you introduce to us. And that's as basic as this business gets. That's really what we're going to be doing. The benefit for you is that you get to create an additional income stream for yourself. Again, that's why you're sitting here this evening. But the nature of the income that we produce here is one of recurring nature. This is something that is inherent to insurance companies. It's a beautiful thing. This is the reason why I left my business. I hope my ex-business partner is not watching. I left the business because in my business that we ran, we were a service-based company, right? We were a digital agency, like an ad agency, but we specialized in internet and apps and that type of thing. And we had programmers and designers and account managers and admin staff working for us. And we would run out and go look for business. And we would get business, and we would build websites and build apps and do marketing campaigns, and then we'd invoice it for the end of the month. And we would hopefully invoice enough to cover the costs in that month, right? And then on the 1st of October, everything will reset to 0. All the way down to 0. And then I knew, I've got to go look for this amount of business this month, invoice it, produce it, and on the 1st of November, reset to 0 again. And I'd do it again. I did this for 17 years. And the words of my father rang in my ears saying, get involved in business that pays you while you're sleeping. And I thought, this business is not paying me while I'm sleeping. I have to work for every cent that I earn. And if I don't work, I don't earn anything. And when everyone goes on leave in December, did our business produce any money? No. We didn't. And so we would spend the whole year gathering up enough funds to get us through December and January. And this went on 17 years. At about year 10, I realized I was not in the right business. This is an opportunity for you guys to be in the right business. Not to depend solely on your efforts, your 8 hours a day to earn an income, but to go beyond that. And this is what recurring is. Some people call passive income. You get to harness the power of duplication here. This is leverage. These channels of distribution that you build are your opportunity to go out and find very resourceful, effective people to join your team, to do the same thing as you. And so when you're limited to the time that you have, whether it be an hour or 2 hours a day that you spend in DewPoint, when you've got 10 other people collaborating with you, that's now 10, 20, 30 hours that are being invested into your business, creating a greater recurring income for you. This business, we'll say it's flexi time. I don't like this word, flexi time, because everyone in the audience thinking, I can do it when I feel like it, right? Do you think that? No, that's the wrong thing to think. Flexi time means you can choose when to schedule DewPoint into your week. It's the only way you're going to be successful in this business. This is not like going to gym when you feel like it, trying to lose weight or stop smoking. This is a business that you have to treat like a real business. 95% of businesses fail in the first 12 months. So you know you have to work hard at this to be successful at it. So you have to, don't make the mistake. Make sure at the end of this presentation, if you're interested in this business opportunity, that you're going to schedule it into your life. If you get home and you have to tell your spouse and the kids, listen here, we're having a family meeting. DewPoint is happening every Monday night and Tuesday night. I don't want to be interrupted, right? That's what you need to do. Make sure you find yourself, that you're finding yourself accountable to the time that you invest in this business. There's no startup capital. There's no registration fees. There's no boxes of product that you have to buy to get involved in this business. We don't sign you into a 12-month contract or a 24-month contract. We make this business risk-free. It becomes accessible to everybody. There's no qualifications or experience required. I don't care if you have matric or you don't have matric. I don't care whether you have corporate experience or you don't have corporate experience. I don't care. It is up to you. The decision is yours, whether you want to get involved in this or not. You get to build an asset. Now, this is probably the most important benefit on the slide. Build an asset. Why? I'll tell you why. Because this business is the antithesis of employment. In employment, you spend 40 to 45 years working for someone else, building their asset for them, where you typically don't get to partake in the upside. What is the upside? Do you get a dividend check every quarter? Have you got profit share in the business where you work? Do you have a shareholding in the work? When you get to retirement, do they go, oh, at least you still have all these shares in the business. We'll keep paying you every month even though you're retired. It's usually no, 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 and no. In this business, the time that you're going to sacrifice and invest into building these channels of distribution is into something that you have legal tender over. You own this asset. You can build up its value. You can sell it one day. You can give it to your kids. You can seed it to your beneficiaries if something happens to you. Right? There's no selling involved. Who's confused by that now? Right? Often you tell somebody, I've got a business opportunity, there's no selling involved. They look at you and they go, huh? What are we doing there? We contract you out of selling. You're actually not allowed to sell. Right? And this is a great thing, because who wants to go out and have to sell things? In this business, you don't have to sell. All you're going to be doing is going out and telling people about the business opportunity. This is the most attractive commodity that exists in South Africa at the moment. Because if I stop you in the street and I say, hey, I've got an insurance product for you, you're going to kick me in the shin. But if I say to you, I've got a business opportunity for you where you can earn recurring income without the need of selling, now this is a whole different ballgame. Now this person will stop and say, yes, I need this, because 98% of the population are in the same boat as the rest of us. Right? The nature of our products are financial. It means they're intangible. We don't have stock and distribution issues. If you brought your uncle's van to come pack boxes of product into, you wasted your time. You can take your uncle's van back empty. Brendan's father, he used to tell me this joke about when he was an insurance salesman in the old days. He said he would walk with his briefcase, because in those days, you know, they knock from door to door. Go to door to door, door to door, door to door, knock, 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 with his briefcase. And in the afternoon, he'd get to his clients in the afternoon and say to them, you're very lucky, I've got my last insurance policy in this briefcase. We don't run out of product in this business. All right? And so we make this business as convenient as possible for people to get involved with. And this is all dependent on your ability to go out and build these channels of distribution. So this is what a channel of distribution looks like. It begins with you, the CEO, the MD. You're going to go out and find people at your peer level, people that are resourceful, people that are capable and effective, and you're going to expose them to the DewPoint opportunity. And for those of them that are interested in this opportunity and join DewPoint and take out one of our products, that is the beginning of your channel of distribution. And those people are going to go out and do exactly the same thing, because they also want to move from the 98% to the 2%, right? They want to do the same thing as you. They've got the same vision. And so you have this organic growth that starts to take place in your channel. This is your channel, your business, your asset that you own. Every dot that you see on the screen, you're getting paid a recurring income on a monthly basis. And next month, there'll be a few more dots and you'll be earning a little bit more. You want to be in the position in 3 to 5 years maybe where you've built a sustainable enough business that runs on its own, that makes money while you're sleeping. You can go on a 3-month holiday. Think about this. You get yourself into the position where you can take 3 months of leave and DewPoint pays you every single month while you're sitting on the beach. That's why entrepreneurs chase building businesses for themselves, so they can have that freedom. So this is what a channel of distribution looks like. This is my disclaimer slide. Look at the pretty ballerina's legs. I'm taking my daughter to the ballet on Friday. It was very appropriate. That's what we think a professional dancer looks like. Right? That's all we see. You go to the State Theatre, you look at the ballet dancers, their hair's perfectly done, got a little tutu on, their little feet and legs are wrapped up with the ballet pumps. That's all that we see. And we think, oh, it's so beautiful. But to be a professional dancer, I dated a dancer when I was very young, that's really what their feet look like. They take that off and you wince. right? Because to be a professional dancer, this is what you have to deal with. This is what you have to be prepared to put up with. And business is exactly the same. That's why I love this image. It's so appropriate. Because in business, we see someone that's successful in business and we go, sure, they're lucky. Look at the nice car, the nice house, the nice spouse, the dog's even good looking. We think they're so lucky, right? Oh, they must have got a tender. But if you've ever had the opportunity to try start and run your own business and make it successful, you'll know how difficult it is. Like I said, 95% of new businesses will fail in the first year. 95%. Those people have put their life savings into businesses, every waking moment into that business, and yet it fails. You have to treat this business opportunity exactly the same way. Pretend you've put R1 million into this business. That's how desperate you have to be to make it work. And I want you to have a long-term vision. When we get further into the presentation, I want your imagination to run wild with the opportunity that this business presents to you. And then fix your gaze on the horizon so that the short-term frustration doesn't bother you. Because there is short-term frustration. This is a people business. Have you realized how frustrating people are? Have you ever tried to run a volunteer anything? I've tried to run volunteer water polo clubs and stuff. It is the most frustrating thing. Guys, we've got a water polo game on Saturday. Everyone coming? Yes, everyone's coming. Half the team arrives on Saturday. People are frustrating. If you're willing to partake in the downside of entrepreneurship, there is the upside waiting for you. So don't come to this business thinking, oh, short-term expectation. I'm going to be rich in the next 3 months. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme, by the way. We're a 70-year-old insurance company. We're not one of these schemes floating around South Africa. There are many of them. I hear lots of stories here in the foyer. A little bit of crying as well. Okay, so this is my disclaimer slide. Let's get on to how our wealth engineers benefit here. So there's actually 2 ways to benefit as a wealth engineer. Number 1, through our returns program. Our returns program is what we pay our wealth engineers at the end of every single month, like yesterday, the SMS that they all got from us, right? The second way to earn is through our rewards program, and I'll discuss that now. But let's start on the returns program. So we pay a base return fee of R27.50 for every product in your channel every month, right? Remember the first 5 people you introduced to DewPoint? They lie on your first point. They are 1 point away from you. And on point 1, you see in the table here, we pay you double the R27.50. On point 2, again, we pay you R55 for every product every month. It's recurring income, remember? Point 3, the multiplier drops to 100%. We're paying you again R27.50. Point 4, point 5, point 6, point 7, point 8. You see the multiplier starts to drop to 4%. At point 8, we don't stop you there. You can build your business way beyond point 8. We will keep paying you 4% from point 8 onwards into infinity in theory. We don't limit you on how big your business can get at DewPoint. We don't limit you on how much money you can earn at DewPoint. The accountability will always fall upon your shoulders. You want to earn more? Do more. Right? It is up to you. So this is the mechanics of the returns. It's fairly straightforward. The next question we get typically is, well, how much money do people in this business earn? Because 55 Rand doesn't mean much to me. Kind of give me an idea of what people earn in this business. So what we did was we built this thing called the path to success. It is dependent on a growth formula that we call 3 + 2. It assumes as a new wealth engineer, you can bring 3 new people into the business in your first month. So we're in September, you bring 3 people in September. In October, you bring 2. In November, another 2. In December, another 2. January, another 2. We call it the 3 + 2 growth formula. If you can follow this growth formula, you can expect to earn these numbers. 2,500 Rand after 6 months. Not even the wealth engineers give me any indication of how they're feeling about this 2,500 Rand. Is it a lot? Is it not a lot? No one's left, so I assume you're still interested. But you're waiting for the number to get bigger. Right? But let me tell you, because I make the same mistake, I think like a consumer. This is not a good way to think. A consumer thinks, they look at money and they go, what can I spend it on? I give you a figure and you go, what can I buy with that? Right? We do this. This is what consumerism is all about. But I want you to think differently about money. I want you to think of it in terms of an asset. Because remember, we pay out recurring income in this business. Give this 2,500 Rand future value. So here we have an example of someone with debt. Remember our first aspiration. Get rid of your debt as quickly as possible. So instead of buying new shoes with your 2,500 rand or a new handbag or going out to a fancy lunch, you do the very boring thing of putting that 2,500 rand into your debt. Right? So here with a R1 million bond, this person got a R1 million bond. They're going to be paying back the bank for the next 20 years on a 20-year bond. 11,500 rand a month for 20 years. If you're the young age of 40, like me, I will become the homeowner at the age of 60, right, for the first time. Right around the corner. At least I think work towards retirement, right? Become a homeowner. But I joined Dewpoint 6 months later with some success. I'm earning 2,500 rand. I do the boring thing. I listen to Rob, pay my debt off sooner. I put the money into my bond as an additional payment. What happens? I will pay this bond off in 8.5 years less. In just 11.5 years, I'll have paid that house off. At the age of 51, I'm now a homeowner. I saved myself in repayments. Now listen to this. I saved myself in repayments that I would have had to make R1 million. I saved myself R1 million on a R1 million house. The whole house cost R1 million. 2,500 rand is going to save you the full value of the asset that you financed. I've got 8.5 years of 14,000 rand a month that I can now put into an investment instead of sending to the bank. Do you see the difference? After 12 months, you're earning in excess of 100,000 rand annually in recurring income. Who's expecting a 100,000 rand bonus this year? Don't put your hand up. People will mob you after the presentation. That's 12 months away. 24 months. You're at nearly 30,000 rand a month. You can be earning 250,000 rand a month. The extra 30,000 rand a month will be attractive to anybody. How many items of your cost of living can you check off with 30 grand extra? You're not going to stop there. You keep going. 36 months, you're close to 50,000 rand a month. At the 30-month mark, you're earning about 36,000 rand. Here's an example of a high flyer with 5 million rand bond. That's a nice, decent-sized house, earning 36,000 rand. What do you do with the 36,000 rand? Buy a new Porsche 911. You can't buy it, you have to finance it. Right? Or do you listen to Rob and do the boring thing and try to pay your debt off faster? You put 36,000 rand into a 5 million rand bond as an additional payment, you'll pay that house off in less than 7 years. At the age of 47, I now am a homeowner. I buy a second house. At the age of 54, I've got 2 houses, 5 million rand each, paid off. At the age of 61, I bought my third house, paid it off. I've got 3 houses, 5 million rand each. I'm living in the one, renting the other 2 out for 60, 70,000 rand a month. That's when I buy my Porsche. Right? Do you see the difference? You can sit back, rely on salary, get to 60, have just finished paid off your house, realize you're not getting an income anymore because you're retired, go, oh dear, I'm going to have to sell the house and move into a caravan so that you can survive. You have to make the mature decision 20 years before the realization. Can you do that? Can you make a decision now for 20 years' time? I hope so. After 48 months, you're close to 70,000 rand a month. After 60 months, a short 5 years, you've created for yourself about 1 million rand in annual recurring income. Can you believe that for yourself? Oh, I don't believe you when I look at you. I think I lost you after 2,500 rand a month. Right? 2.5 was too little, 1 million's too much. Where are you more comfortable with? 30,000 a month? You have to start at the 2,500, right, before you get to this position. But this is all based on an Excel spreadsheet called 3+2 growth model, right? Doing 3 and then 2 every month. It's just theory. You can do a lot less. You can be one of those people that join Dewpoint, we never see or hear from them again. I call them the 0+0 club. Right? You don't want to be part of that club, but you can be. But you can also do more than 3+2. There's nothing stopping you from doing more than 3+2. If you say to me, Rob, 2,500 is not enough after 6 months, I say, that's great. Go double your efforts. And so this evening, on that note, we have our first wealth engineer coming up, Sifiso. There you go, sir. Welcome.
Thank you, Rob.
So there you can see, handsome Sifiso is looking much bigger on screen than he is in real life. From Gauteng, rank 3 wealth engineer. That'll make sense to you in a little bit later in our presentation. Joined at the end of April. By May, was earning 715 Rand. June, July, jumped to 4,000 Rand nearly in 60 days. And now the debit orders that we are running in September currently amount to nearly 10,000 Rand in recurring income for Sifiso.
Thank you.
So, share with the audience your experience. There are a number of guests in the audience. They're sitting in this chair for the first time ever. It's the first time ever they've seen such a tall, good-looking gentleman presenting. Share your thoughts about what your experience was when you were in the same position. How did you join this business?
Evening, everyone. Like the screen suggests, my name is Fisonene. When I joined the business, let me just take you back to how I actually came to be a wealth engineer. My introducer is in the Eastern Cape, Lou. So he was asking me to come see this great opportunity called Dew Point. And I think it took him about 3 months attempt to actually get me here. And the reason I was ignoring him is I was busy with another network company. So which I thought was the best thing ever. So I hadn't heard of Dew Point. So I was actually concentrating there. And then I think on the third month, yes, you actually wait for me for payday. Every time he actually got paid, he would actually start telling me about Dew Point. So I decided, you know what? I said, okay, it was on a Friday. So I said, you know what? I'll actually come on Monday. But then he said, okay, let me send you a quick intro presentation, which was found on the website. So I actually made the mistake of actually doing it on a Friday. I was going home that weekend. I listened to that 50-minute clip and I was sold. So now my only worry was that I actually wanted to see how real the business was. So I actually wanted to come and touch the 4 walls. But then I was going home, so I couldn't sleep that Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night, because I was actually looking so eager to come and see the 4 walls. And actually when I came, I saw the building. I was impressed. I actually went to the gents before the intro started, and when I looked at the hand towels there, I was like sold. So yeah. Once I was actually at the presentation, I looked. I actually saw the clips of the people already ending, and I thought, you know what? I also wanna be there. So I wanna see how quickly I can actually get the guys to have confidence in me to actually put me on stage like today. So I'm actually grateful that I'm here on stage. So I also want to actually just give a brief history of who I am. Like I work for a big corporation. I've got a nice title at work. I'm a senior developer at work. I've got a nice, comfortable job. I've got also a comfortable salary. But then the challenge that I actually had was that the bottom line, I had an issue with my bottom line. As much as the salary was good, but the bottom line also, like my debts rather, they actually were starting to match my bottom line. So then I saw the challenge.
So bottom line is your first SMS minus the other 20 SMS.
Yeah, so I saw that I wasn't happy with the figure that I was left with. So I realized I actually need to look at something better. And funny enough, I was actually reading a book called The Richest Man in Babylon. So it talks about the 7 cures to a lean purse. So one of the first point that they made, the book mention is you must find ways to always pay yourself first. And then that's what actually Dew Point says. It says reward yourself first. Then I thought, okay, what a coincidence. And then there's also a few points, but also the last point says that find ways of actually making yourself more, find ways of actually increasing your income. So I thought, okay, Jew Point also, there's a tick there. Then I realized, you know what, it's now up to me to actually make sure that I actually forget about my pride, about I love my job, I won't lie, I love my job, but then the bottom line. So how do I answer the question of the bottom line? So I have a message for professionals out there or live streaming and also sitting in the audience. Guys, let's not get too comfortable where we are. Let's always be looking for ways to better ourselves. We've all got responsibilities, and there's opportunities like Jew Point which actually can actually help you change your bottom line. So let's not neglect them, and then let's not actually take them lightly. This business is very serious. It's changing the bottom line, as you can see, and this is not where I want to stop. I've got a vision 2020 with my team. We always say we've got a vision 2020, and whatever, we always ask the question, what's your vision 2020? So mine, I would love to get 200,000 rands every month on a recurring basis by 2020.
Okay, that's awesome. That's, I would assume, the motivation for you, because we see this gentleman here at our head office nearly on a daily basis. So he's been committed for a very long time. And I think you also make the point, you know, you've got a great position, a great professional career, but that, you know, the problem with that is that it can change so quickly. So quickly. Your company loses a contract and suddenly they say, well, we're getting rid of a third of our staff because we lost one contract, and that can happen overnight. So there's always that risk there. So what else is motivating you? You want to get to that number. You seem to be very driven. Maybe it's the book that you're reading that keeps you motivated. 100,000 by 2020.
By 2020.
Okay,
By 2020,
so
yes.
you've got 3 years left.
So yeah, so it actually
That's
puts
your
pressure.
long-term goal, right?
Yes, that's
and
my long-term.
shorter-term goals?
Shorter-term goals, it's actually building with my team. This business is not a one-man business. So my short-term goals is to always keep growing that figure, but the only way I can do that is if I work with my team. So I work closely with my team, and we always share our vision, and we always work together. We give guidance, we give coaching. We've got monthly team off-site meetings. We're always trying to make sure that no one gets left behind, because this success is not just purely on my efforts alone. I've got great mentors. I've got great partners who we're actually working hard, and we always motivating each other and pushing on a monthly basis.
Awesome. So I will give you the opportunity to speak to your teams. Like you said, your efforts are not based on your own. I know you've got a vast, expansive team across the entire country. So go for it.
Yes, yeah, okay. To my team, to my winner circle, and to my Jew Point pioneers, guys, most are here in the auditorium. Guys, thank you for the effort and the effort that you've put into our networks. I know, Wuti, actually next month I'm hoping that one of you guys will also be here. I mean, on a month-to-month basis, I'd actually love to see one individual at a time coming on stage, and I believe in you guys. We're working so hard, and the results are showing already, and I'm excited for all the new guys who actually ranked up. I'm actually excited for you. We're gonna push the guys who haven't ranked up. I know it's coming. And also, I've got a team also in Mpumalanga. Sandile, I see you there, and the team. You guys, I believe in you. You're gonna get there. There's also guys in Durban, and there's also guys in Cape Town. Guys, let's just push the business. Let's live stream. Let's expose so many people to this wonderful opportunity. Because one of the things that I really love about Jew Point is how cheap it is to enter. How it's a very scalable business. So guys, there's no complaint as to why you can't actually take up this opportunity. Take up the opportunity. I promise you, put the effort in, and your results will actually show.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks for your effort. Can you see how seriously he's taking the business? Right? It's a great example of strategizing towards success. Right? So many of us, we get involved in these businesses thinking that we can just wing it, that it'll kind of happen on its own, we'll figure it out. You need to take it very seriously. You need to plan and strategize and have a big goal like that. 100,000 Rand a month. It's a great goal to have. Okay, so these are the returns. This is what we pay our wealth engineers at the end of every month. This is the first way to benefit as a wealth engineer. Remember, there's a second way. So the second way to benefit as a wealth engineer is through our rewards program. So the rewards program works like this. You become a wealth engineer and you will engage in normal wealth engineer behavior, like coming to presentations, bringing guests with you, watching training, logging into your website, into your app. And when you do all these things, and there's many other things, when you do these things, we give you something called XP. It stands for experience points. It indicates to us how active you are as a wealth engineer. And when you start collecting more and more of this XP and your channel starts to grow, we reward our wealth engineers along the way for their success. So if you join this evening, you will start out as a rank 0 wealth engineer. Can you see we don't even put you on the screen when you rank 0? You want to get to rank 1 as quickly as possible. And it is pretty straightforward, because all you need is 1,000 XP and you need 4 products in your qualified channel and you will become rank 1. You can do that in 24 hours if you really want to. And at rank 1, we give you an extra 55 Rand at the end of the month, once off. So you can go have a cappuccino on us and congratulate yourself. Right? But you want to carry on, because at rank 2, it gets to 100 Rand, 400 Rand. 1,500 Rand, 20,000 Rand, 50,000 Rand. The rewards get bigger and better. We give tools to our wealth engineers that help them be more effective in building these channels of distribution. Here's Patrick and Pumi with a rank 5 Lightning USB drive. This is what we give all our rank 5s. It is a little memory stick that plugs into anything. It can plug into phones, tablets, laptops, computers, TVs nowadays, right? Doesn't matter if it's Android, Apple, or Banana. It plugs into everything, so that Patrick and Pumi can show people the DewPoint opportunity regardless of what device they have around them. At rank 7, we get these premium business cards manufactured. They actually cost us 25,000 Rand for a set, but we get them created in pairs, and they cost us a little less. Why would we spend so much money on business cards? Because this business relies very much on first impressions. If you're going to go out and speak to people about DewPoint, they've probably never heard of us before, right? Not yet. We hope that every single person in South Africa will know DewPoint soon. But when you go speak to somebody and you mention the word DewPoint, there's not much weight to the word yet. But when you put a 25,000 Rand business card in their hand, and they realize that your business card costs about 50 times more than the one they've got in their wallet, your credibility goes up. And when your credibility goes up, these people will be more willing to listen to you when you discuss what DewPoint's all about. At rank 9, we take our wealth engineers and their families to our international conference, business class flights for the whole family, to a 5-star luxury resort for 7 days, all expenses paid trip. Not once, we take you every single year for the rest of your life as a rank 9 and above wealth engineer. So we've got some footage of the destination that we're going to at the end of this year. This is available for every single person in the room. Every person in the room. No one has an excuse not to get to rank 9. If you can get to rank 1, you can get to rank 9. The activity is exactly the same. That's the same. The accountability lies with you. So let's take a look. That's an easy question. Rank 9, we've had one gentleman get there in 5 months. There's no time limit on getting to rank 9. You can take as long as you want or as short as you want. It is up to you. At rank 11, we spent R250,000 on a brand new car and present it to the wealth engineer to drive away. No debit order at the end of the month. Can you see us trying to get you to become debt-free as quickly as possible? When you're going on a business class trip with your family once a year, when the car you drive around in is paid by somebody else, right? That's going to help you. That's going to help you get to debt-free status as quickly as possible. Rank 11, the program you saw went to rank 20. We've actually designed it to rank 28. If you get a car at rank 11, what do you get at rank 28? I bet you're wondering. I've heard it all. A jet, a house, a new husband. Okay, I'm just teasing. So this is the rewards program. This is the second way to earn as a wealth engineer. We have a third way to benefit as a wealth engineer. We call it a wealth quest. A wealth quest is just a challenge that we issue out to our wealth engineers every month. Every month it's different. There's a new one every month. And every month there's a different reward attached to the challenge. This month it's called Expand Your Empire. We challenge you to go out and find 2 new wealth engineers outside of your province, in separate provinces. If you can find 2 new wealth engineers in different provinces than the one you live in, get them qualified in the month of September. All the payments happen successfully in September. I'll have a brand new iPhone to give you at the end of next month. Right? So the third way to benefit as a wealth engineer. And on that note, we have a couple, -1. Rumbidzai, come up and speak to us. There you go. Her husband, unfortunately, is working out the country at the moment.
Yes.
But let's look. You joined in middle of April or so, rank 4 already. So you got to look forward to a fancy memory stick very soon. 1,500 Rand already by May. So in the first 30 days, amazing. By July, 5,000 Rand. Let's just put that into context, because I know, again, we're all making the mistake. 5,000 Rand a month, what can I spend that on? Think back to one of the previous slides. How much money did you have to have in an investment to earn 5,000 Rand a month? 1 million. They've created for themselves the equivalent of 1 million Rand investment in the space of 90 days. And now you're on close to 10,000 Rand in the debit orders that we're going to be running off your business and the returns that you've created for yourself. Again, share with us your story of being exposed to Dew Point, your experience of what it was like before you even knew the word Dew Point.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Okay, from my husband, he's really sad that he can't be here tonight, because we've been really looking forward to this day where we'd be on stage. Unfortunately, he had to travel with work, but I'm sure he's live streaming. Hi, baby. Okay. So I heard about Dew Point from my aunt. So she sends me a message. She says, Rumbi, you love money. I found an opportunity for us to go and make money. So I asked her, is this a legitimate business? Then she says, yes, I saw someone who got paid. I even saw the SMS. So because I trust my aunt, immediately I went onto the website. I didn't even read. I didn't do anything. I just went and I signed up.
Sure.
Then I remember, so it was a Wednesday. So I then went to events. I saw there's a movie night. So I'm not sure what this movie night is. So we booked for Thursday for the presentation. Mm-hmm. So I come to the presentation and Rob is giving the presentation. Well done to Rob. So you're all in good hands tonight. So throughout the presentations, I'm like itching with questions and everything. I think I gave him a 3rd degree afterwards, a good 30 minutes asking him questions and everything. But then when I look back, that first month, we didn't do much in the business because I thought I knew it all. I had done a network before, so it was, okay, I know this how this works. So I wasn't bothered with the training or anything. And then I remember 2 days later, we're asking Rob, so we had registered 2 profiles, one for myself and one for my husband, which takes us back to, we hadn't read the code of conduct. So everyone who signs up tonight, please can you read your code of conduct? Because that is not even allowed. And we were doing it because we're just not, everything is there for us to read. There is training material, but we were not just engaging ourselves. So I remember one of the nights we spoke to Rob about it, and he said, did you read your code of conduct? And I lied. I said, yes. And he never said, no, it's not allowed or anything like that. I think into the first week of April, that's when I decided, okay, let me just take a look at the videos. Then I went through one video. Okay, I learned a lot. I think that night I went through 4 videos. And then I decided, okay, Rob spoke about a code of conduct. Let me read this code of conduct. That's when I went back and I said, okay, we're in the wrong track. Then I remember I came back to Rob and I said, Rob, I've seen that we're not allowed to. And then he said, no, I wanted you to go and read for yourself because the code of conduct is there for a reason. And I wanted you to read for yourself. Now that you've read for yourself, do you realize it's easier for you to rank up if you're working together as a couple? And to the couples, I encourage you to do this business together. It's going to be fun. You spend more time together here doing the business, generating money. And imagine we're a couple. My husband is away tonight, but I'm here representing the family. So from there, I just engaged myself in the training. I fell in love with Dew Point, and here I am today.
Great. Well, I need to thank your aunt, first of all. But, I mean, you've been very committed. So, again, we see you and Reynard here all the time. What keeps you committed? What is keeping you driven? What motivates you? Share your goals with us, I think.
Okay, what keeps us motivated is I love traveling. I have a passion for traveling. And you find being a professional, as Sifiso said, it's very easy to set yourself up in that cloud where you're saying you're doing well. But you will find as the years progress, you start to cut down on a lot of luxuries. Because with a family that will be growing, like the moment you add an additional child, it's more expenses coming in. And what then suffers is you have to cut down on those luxuries that you love. So I remember teasing Reynolds. I always, before Dew Point, I always used to say to him, it's my dream to fly business class. And I would say to him, if I die before flying business class, I'm going to haunt you as a host. So imagine that day we came for the presentation. He sees the travel incentive. He says, baby, this is for us. So we love traveling, and we're looking forward to traveling the world with Dew Point. Even with the money that we're earning from Dew Point, we can take our family on holiday as we please.
Great. I also love traveling. And they say there are lots of benefits to traveling. I read an article the other day that said taking your children traveling overseas has got so much tremendous benefit for your children. It opens their eyes. They become more tolerant of other people and cultures. They become more optimistic about their enterprise going into life. So it's a great prospect to have. Share with us your experience of the team that you're working with. People have mentioned already that your success is never based on your own efforts in this business. So I give you the opportunity to address your channel and say what you will to them.
Okay, to my channel, like all of you, you hold a special place in my heart. I've made friendships that, you know how you have your friendships from way back, but I've met people here who are amazing. I've met Masha, I've met Pumi. These 2 women are incredible. And remember I said I joined under my aunt, who just left me here at Dew Point and just left. But Dew Point is full of so many friendly faces who want to help and assist you and help you get your business up and running. Then within my team, I've got incredible people. We motivate each other, we goal set together, we talk every hour basically. Every hour we're communicating, we're talking about what's happening in our business. That's how much we're in love with this business. And we've also decided this is going to be a long-term thing. We want to be in Dew Point for the long run, because we actually know that our reward, like we're getting this, it might look like a lot, but I can't imagine what we're going to get at the end of 5 years. And we're really excited to achieving that 5-year goal. Thank you to everyone in my channel who's been paying their products.
That helps.
Then I'm just so excited because I know you people are all dynamic individuals. Abigail, I can bet my life I'm going to see you on stage next month this time. Tinashe, Zulani, Mpo, Isabel, like I'm not going to mention everyone, but everyone in the team. I know we might not make Mauritius this year, but I'm hoping we're going to have all of us next year at the trip.
Awesome. I look forward to that too. Thank you, Rumbi.
Thank you.
That's great. We often get asked the question, well, how is Dew Point affording all of this? Right? Have you wondered the question yourself? Yes. Well, we have a slide that explains our business model. So on the left-hand side there is an illustration of traditional business. And traditional insurance companies will spend a lot of money on client acquisition through marketing and advertising. Dew Point doesn't do any marketing or advertising. We don't spend a cent on marketing. Instead, we rely on our wealth engineers, our partners, to go out and speak to people about the business opportunity. And so instead of spending the billions that the insurance industry typically spends every year on marketing, we take that portion of our premium and we pay it to our wealth engineers, to our partners, in the form of these returns and rewards and the wealth quests that we do. Okay. Our products. We have 3 products. You are free to look at 1, 2, or 3 of the products. Our first product is called the Access Wealth Plan. It is an investment product made up in 2 parts. So for 299 Rand a month, 100 Rand will be going into a tax-free investment fund that sits with Sanlam. All right? This is a completely flexible investment. You can draw your money out of this investment at any stage. It takes about 72 hours to draw out. The second part of the Access Wealth Plan is an insurance product called our accident policy. Gives you 110,000 Rands worth of cover. This is our Access Wealth Plan. This is the investment product for 299 Rand a month. All right? Our second product is an insurance product only. This is strictly insurance called Wealth Guard, 274 Rand a month, but this time you get 1.1 million Rands worth of personal accident cover. The beauty of our personal accident cover is that you can be over the age of 18, you can be 70, you can be 80 years old, you can be diabetic. You can still take up this product. The premium remains the same, the amount of cover remains the same. So Wealth Guard is our insurance product. Product number 3 is called the Wealth Points Buyers Club program. It is 274 Rand a month. This product aims to save us money on the money we're spending every month anyway. How much money are we spending on groceries every month? Right? So you see, we've got a list of partners there. This program allows you to save money on the money you're spending. So you get to engage in those partners. We've negotiated discounts, which we share with our Wealth Points members. We've got ShopRite Checkers amongst a host of other retailers. You get 2.5% of ShopRite Checkers. You get 5% off of Yuppie Chef, off your entire spend. We've got always on Wi-Fi data. You buy a gig for 36 Rand. We've negotiated them down 67% less on data costs with always on. We've got the Entertainer, 1.3 million Rands worth of buy one, get one free vouchers that gives you access to restaurants around the country, hotels around the world, luxury spas, live events. We've got Eagle Ford. We are always adding new partners to this program. If you're looking for immediate benefit, this is a great product to have. If you have any questions around the process, you can come speak to the staff that are here this evening. We'll answer any of your questions. I remind you of the support that you get as a wealth engineer. And our wealth engineers have touched on all the support, right? Don't make the mistake of thinking you can do it on your own or you know how to do a business like this. Find out what all these support aspects are. Get plugged into the support. It'll make you successful a lot faster. And on that, we have Roelof and Marsha coming up. Who's talking first? Okay, guys, you've come up to much fanfare. Roelof and Marsha have been wealth engineers since the day we launched the business, so just over a year and a half now. You've been up on stage a couple of times. They've had a lot of success in our business, and they're very experienced in this business. So as you can see, November 2016, they were already on 15,000 Rand a month. They had a wonderful July because they hit rank 10 and received an extra 50,000 Rand on top of your 26,000 Rand. And their earnings have been going up every single month. Right? Think about employment now when you're begging for 7% at the end of the financial year. You have the opportunity to increase your income every single month. And Marsha and Roelof have done this. They, like I said, have been up a couple of times, so I'm not going to go through the usual line of questioning. Why don't you guys maybe expand on your experience of this business, your experience of it, how you got into it, and all the experience that you've had?
Super.
Go for
Thanks,
it.
Rob. Well, we won't be seen as your traditional network marketer. When we started network marketing many years ago, people would look at us and they would say, these are the kind of people that would not be interested in network marketing. At the time, we were working for Anglo-American on contract, hourly paid, earning a lot of money. We were part of the project team opening big mines, Venetia, Sadiola, Namakwa Sands, etc. But we were, as I said, we were working long hours. We've got 4 children, got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, lived in the Vaal Triangle. So 6 o'clock we left for work, got home in the evening 6, 7 o'clock at night. And then we had 4 kids that we had to feed. So very good friends of ours, Roelof's best friend from school days. They were in network marketing and they looked at us, and Roelof's male friend said to his wife, he's not going to approach Roelof and Marsha because they're earning enough money and they don't have time. Isn't that one of your two of your biggest objections? No money, or too much money and no time. But his wife said, I'm going to approach them, but you're not going to approach them, I'm going to approach them. And you know what? Roelof's own sister had us on her list, and they never approached us. So our friends Rina approached us, and what they did not know was that we were fed up. We were fed up being hourly paid. We were fed up, I listened to you earlier and it was like our own story. We were fed up at starting at zero every single month. Being hourly paid, earning a lot of money, but then starting again at zero, we never went on holiday. We had the money to pay for our kids to go on holiday with other people, but we couldn't go on holiday because no work, no pay. And I know there are people sitting here tonight and people listening that might be self-employed, and that could be lawyers, it could be people with their own business, it could be a rep, and every month you start again on a zero. And we know the risk that we have today in the market today. So we started our part-time business with a full-time attitude. So that is what we did every single day, and even now we think of who are we going to bless today with this business. And so to our lead wealth engineers, we thank them. We're so grateful to them for sharing this opportunity with us. Anything else that you want to add?
Roelof, you got to hand him the mic.
I must apologize, I've got flu, so this is my sexy husky voice that I have tonight. I think it's just for everybody sitting here and for our team, it's the message that I have for you is enjoy your business. You know, the thing is, if you enjoy it, you find the time to do it. If you don't enjoy it, you need to force yourself to do it. You know, and people are so critical of, but that person has been in the business for 6 months earning that, and you've been in the business for a year earning that. It's got nothing to do with it. Really, really think about it. I mean, you're sitting here today, and we've got a goal. We would like the car by February, March next year. But what if we don't achieve it and we get it in June? I mean, the sky's not going to fall. We're not going to resign out of the business and say it's not working for us. Work at your own pace. You have your goals, but enjoy your business. Really go out there. You know, if I find people on Facebook, I find people on the WhatsApp group, and I find people here at the office that say, but it's so hard. I'm 63 years old. I think I have a very good idea of what hard is. You see, because if you look at it, getting up for 5 o'clock in the morning, leaving home at 6, getting stuck in the traffic in the morning and in the afternoons, that's hard. And in the morning, when you leave home and you take your little baby and you hand it to a day mother and you do not know whether they're going to love that baby, that's hard. Okay? Working for a salary that's a joke, that's hard. Working for a boss that you don't even like and working with people in an office that you don't really appreciate, that's hard. So when people say it's hard, nobody said Viewpoint is easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. But to me, I mean, I would rather do, I don't really opt for the 9 to 5 for 45 years. I would rather do the 5 to 9 for 4 to 5 years. Okay, and then have the financial freedom to go and do what you really want to do. Because that, even if it's hard, even if you think that is hard, it's way, way better than plan A. Plan B is the one to go.
Okay. Any final words?
Just for the team.
Okay, yeah.
For our team and our sidelines out there, for us, I think the biggest, and I know all the leaders feel exactly the same, your biggest gratification in this business is seeing other people succeed. Knowing there's somebody that did not make money and they're earning an extra 500 or an extra 1,000 or an extra 4,000 rand a month. And somebody on our WhatsApp group today said, I had somebody that said this business doesn't work and there's no people making money. They just need to go to YouTube and go and check out the testimonials. And this is why I love this business. To me, and Rumba, you touched on it earlier, I can't understand why people don't buy their product. Because even if you don't do anything at all, you've still got a great product that adds value and cover to your family's life. So even if you don't do the business, just buy your products.
Guys, thank you. Well done. So lots of lessons there, right? About perspective, about the hard work required, about long-term vision. Are you willing to do the extra work so that you only have to endure employment for 5 years, maybe less, and that there's no time limit to this business. You can take 5 years to get to rank 11. You can take 2 years to get to rank 11. The car's not going to run away. We've got one waiting for you in the basement. For every person here, there's a car in the basement waiting for you. The accountability just lies with you. So what is the decision we're making this evening? I'm not going to go over the benefits again. We kind of break this presentation up into starting off with really a realistic perspective as to our circumstance that we all find ourselves in, right? The economy, we spoke about debt, we spoke about retirement, the wealth engineers touched on why they're doing this business, their experience. They were in exactly the same position as our guests here, sitting, watching the presentation for the very first time, maybe still a little confused as to how this business works, right? Maybe even skeptical, like some of them were. But what are you going to lose if you take that first step? You have to get your feet wet, right, if you want to learn to swim. You've got to just do it. You've got all the support around you. We will collaborate with you. We want to see you successful. We can only be profitable as a business if you're being profitable. And so we're happy to work together. Brendan and I are happy to sit with you. We'll sit down and strategize your success with you. You can set up meetings with us personally, and we'll sit down with your team and figure out how you're going to become successful in this business. So get stuck in. We make joining very easy. It takes 7 minutes to go through our application form. Get onto our homepage. Click on the big blue apply button. Very quick to go through the application form. You'll get an SMS and an email stating what your wealth engineer number is. And in 10 minutes' time, you can already start trying to add value to this asset that you now have ownership over, that you're going to be building for yourself, not for anyone else, for yourself. We've got merchandise. This is not a profit center for us. The merchandise is on display in the cabinet. The pricing's on the counter. These are tools to help you be more effective in building your business. Please consider getting business cards. This business is about professionalism. Please consider getting the business cards. If you're going to propose a business opportunity to someone and you don't have business cards, it detracts from your proposition. So get the business cards. At rank 7, we will pay for the business cards. But at rank 0, you pay for them. Right? We've got a USB stick. It's got our videos on there. You might not want to use data. Get the USB stick. Get the pin. The pin represents people earning at Dew Point. Don't ask advice from someone without a pin, because you're asking someone in the 0+0 club. Right? So get the pin. When you become qualified, get the pin and wear it proudly. We've got a host of other merchandise. Take a look at it. We're in East London on the 7th of October. Very exciting. We were in Durban this last weekend. It was awesome. We had an audience of about 500 people at one of the hotels there. We at the ICC. If you know anyone in the Eastern Cape, make sure that they get here. This is your opportunity to build your channel outside of your hometown. This is your opportunity to have an entire business leg in another province. So if you know anyone there, if you know anyone in the surrounding areas, or even if you want to drive down there, this is the opportunity to build business in another province. We have a YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. It'll tell you every time we have a video loaded, every time a live event's about to come live. Once you become a wealth engineer, download our mobile app. It tells you when you're making money in your sleep. Right? You want to wake up in the morning and see that your channel has grown and that you're earning a greater return at the end of the month. So get the app. Guys, we are done. I thank you so much for your time. Just a reminder, public holiday, we've got a presentation. 2 presentations on the public holiday on Monday. So schedule your bright time on Monday outside of the presentation time that we have. Right? Okay. Thank you guys for your time. We're outside if you have any questions.